A package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for November 2021. Yeah, very busy month. I'm still very busy at work and not getting a tremendous amount of time in the game room. As you can see by the still numerous arcade cabinets not working behind me. Although I did have one win, which I'll go over in a minute as I go through my various things. I did fix something and get it working, so because I had a rare basically Saturday afternoon in the game room, so that was a very nice thing. So do have a couple of other pickups that have come in this month. Now, being a Spectravideo fan, being my first primary computer, I did have a Texas Instruments TI-99-4 before that, but the Spectravideo 318 and then 328 and then the Spectravideo MSX machines, of course, after that. And I've always been a fan, not necessarily of all of the models' build quality, but of Spectravideo peripherals and joysticks. And this one popped up on eBay and I didn't have it, so I thought I'd grab it to round out my collection. And it's actually the Spectravideo made joysticks for all sorts of computers, and this is specifically for an IBM PC. So you have analog joystick, you have the two locking mechanisms there, and an auto fire on the side, and two buttons. Nothing, no button on top. I haven't tried it out. I don't really have a PC set up in that mode anymore, but I thought it would be an interesting addition to my Spectravideo joystick collection, which I have a few of, so maybe I should do a video showing my Spectravideo peripheral collection, or maybe I should get out all my Spectravideo stuff and show it at some stage, because I do have quite an extensive collection. I also got a new video cable for my Amiga 1084S monitor that I got last month. So that goes from the Amiga video out to basically the VGA on the back of that monitor. It works, and I was going to demonstrate it to you at the moment, but just as I was preparing and making this video, my Amiga 2000 was making strange noises and now it won't boot. So I'd say we've had a capacitor fail. There's no batteries or anything in there. So another one for the project list. Oh well, these things happen. This is what happens when you collect old stuff. Now also during the month I had a pre-order at EB Game for another item that I know a few of you out there have picked up, and it's none other than the Zelda Game & Watch. I did get the Mario one before, and it does come in this nice slipcase, and it comes with so as you can see when you take it out, you see the it's not the ball game, it's what's it called? It's Link. Anyway, I can't remember what the extra game is, but you get lots more games on this one, and I'm actually a fan of the early Zelda games. So you get Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is the Game Boy one, Vermin Link version, and you get a Playtime Clock, which is Legend of Zelda Style, and Playtime Timer Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. So it's got a lot in there. Now I've got it here, I've been carrying it around with me. I've got a little protective case. It actually looks really nice, all nicely colour themed in the Zelda colours. You just charge it with a USB-C here, and the charge lasts quite a long time. I recently had to go to Adelaide for work, and took it with me and was there the whole week and played it on occasion. I've realised that I haven't played the original Zelda game for quite some time, and I'm rubbish at it. So, but I'm still playing it and having fun. And as you can see, it has a nice clear screen. The controls feel nice, and it's just a nice little unit. And like, it woke, as you can see, it just woke up instantly where I was playing. So you can just turn it on and off like that, and play. And I've just got it in a little felt case for carrying around. Also, I got I'll do this first. So when I came back from that trip to Adelaide, sitting on my desk at work, which is it's always nice when you get these sort of things, and then you know that people at your work understand you. Somebody found an old Byte magazine and left it on my desk at work. So this is November 1991, which is actually really cool because it's not, this video is about November 2021, so 30 years since this issue came out. And Byte magazine, it has a lot of ads in it, but it also has a lot of you know, it has a lot of articles in it. It's very hard to show. I haven't read many of them yet. I've only just really started having a look, but it's really cool to look back 30 years ago what was being written in there. And as you can see, you've got the you know, the Notebook Max and Windows 3 versus OS 2, DOS 6, all sorts of interesting things from that time of computers. It'd be fun to have a bit of a read through and find out about. So now the other thing which I'm really glad that I got, so those of you watching the videos know that my Coleco power supply went, so I've been using a backup from another unit, but my Coleco unit has been very glitchy since, so you know, it won't start, well, he starts up and maybe some games will crash. If I had the Super Game module in, pretty much I couldn't get anything to start. My Atari Max Ultimate SD would only boot whenever it wanted to, and it was very annoying. But a friend of mine, Cameron, pointed out this little thing. It's called a Col USB. So it's very tiny inside the box, and all it is this part goes into the back of your ColecoVision, and then you use a USB-C, which is good because that carries more power, to an appropriate 2 amp either adapter or a power board with a 2 amp output for USB-C. And now my Coleco's never worked as well as it is at the moment. So much so that, like, when I turn it on, it instantly boots the Atari Max Ultimate SD, and it's never done that before. So my original power supply must have been a little glitchy, and I can leave the Super Game module in, and it works. And also, since my Coleco is working so well, I thought, and also because I do have problems with my hands, and Coleco joystick's not the best on the hands, ages ago I made this, which is an arcade stick, using some PCBs I got off Atari Age. And this goes back quite a while. You're talking probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it worked, but only the first button worked. Pressing this button would also make the first fire button press, and pressing this one would make the player go left, and this one would do nothing. And so since I had that time, and I only did this on Saturday, I checked the wiring, I went back to the original instructions, and I realised, because the way the Coleco controllers work, it actually polls and gets half of the settings, which is the joystick and the primary fire button, and then the next poll it'll see if any of the extra buttons are pressed and the number pad. And they're wired up to different ground lines. So I had all of the grounds on the one ground point, and you've actually got to have these buttons going to a different ground point. And as soon as I did that, it all worked. So now finally I have an arcade stick. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's got enough weight in it. I like the stick. It works really well. These buttons are a bit glitzy and things, and a bit noisy. I may switch them out for some other ones. I do actually have lots of buttons, but at the time when I did this, they were the buttons I had. So I should be able to, you know, because at the moment they're a little bit, you know, noisy. So I wouldn't mind changing for something, but it works. I've been able to play things like Moon Patrol and Defender, games that I like playing, but require 2 buttons, and I can get very cramped with my hands using the normal controller. So a very good win-win situation there. So we'll just cut to a quick bit of video where I show you the difference in the boot up. Well, I can't show you the difference because I can't show you the before, but show you how fast the unit boots up. Alright, so back again. Now another pickup which I actually got last month, but I forgot about in my excitement of making that video and having a chance to do it. So from the same friend, Brendan, who dropped off the copy of of June on Laserdisc when he found out that my other copy of June had rot. About a week or so earlier, he dropped off this very large plastic container full of these. Now, I don't know whether these were his or they're, he picked them up at a market or something like that, but he gave these to us. It's a full set. There is I think there's about 8 folders. So there's Star Wars fact files, actually weigh a fair bit, and I think there's like 100 issues. So this has got issues 39 probably through to sorry, they're a little bit heavy. Well, it's a bit hard to tell what numbers they go up to. I haven't been lucky enough to get another cover, but there's at least 10, if not 20 issues in each folder. And they've got lots of Star Wars bits and pieces. So, what's this one? Inside Han Solo, the luxury of Amidala's apartments. Detailed folder plans of Sentinel class Imperial landing craft, which is pretty cool. 7. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this without killing myself. So it's actually quite heavy. There we go. So lots of Star Wars facts and figures. Another thing that I will work my way through slowly. So there are, all the folders look the same. There are, I reckon there's about 8 folders worth, and there's a few loose posters and things like that in there as well. So I don't have any shelf room to put them at the moment, but I am, when I rebuild this section here, I will gain some shelf room over there, so they'll probably end up over there and make a Star Wars section. Or I do have a lot of Star Wars and Star Wars Lego stuff hidden in the back corner here, so once again, when I rebuild this section behind, which I've talked about before, and making a true nice big Nintendo section, that'll free up some room in other bits of the room, so I can better display things like that. Because I don't just like video games, I like science fiction and a few role-playing things as well. So that was very much appreciated. Not that I've had much time to read them as yet, but they're here, and that way, you know, you can come in the game room, you can put some, I can put some music on, I can play some games, and I can sit here and watch YouTube and read some magazines and these things, which is always welcome. So next we'll move on to my homebrew update. I've been doing a little bit more work on 3 smaller games that I've put together lately, none other than Lunar Rescue, Depth Charge and Stunt Cycle. I do apologise, we're having a bit of a storm in front at the moment, so there might be a bit of rain noise. And I've knocked up a cover for, which is the MSX cover. The Spectravideo one will be the same, but it will have the Spectravideo logo here. And I do need, I've forgotten, I need to put the actual, you know, MSX1 specs and everything there. It'll be on cartridge, and this I'll get printed properly. So this is just printed on my colour printer. When I do them properly, I get them printed at a better printer. And these just go in the clear slip cases, which work quite well for MSX titles, because I've got no idea how many I'll sell, and I can use the same case just with a different slip thing for the MSX and Spectravideo one. The ColecoVision of this, though, I will probably get a proper box made and do that. I haven't quite finished the game yet. There's still a bit more to do on Stunt Cycle, and then I need to you know, make the front menu and stuff like that. But it's getting very close. Lunar Rescue is very solid, playing well. So is Depth Charge. I think I need to add the indicator at the top of Depth Charge that shows you how many shots you've got that you can throw at each side. And there's a little bit more work on Stunt Cycle, but it's almost ready. So I think that'll look as a reasonably impressive cover. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, so obviously almost Christmas. It's not going to come out before Christmas, because probably I'll need the time when I go on holidays at Christmas time just to finish it off and fix all the little bugs in it. But also I have done some more work on Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death for the NES. The rope bridges are now working perfectly. The only thing, if I can change this video up here, you'll see that the character sprite doesn't change when you climb up and climb down. That's because I've got to reorganise the sprite table a little bit to squeeze the shapes in. It's purely a room thing, and it's purely, you know, sometimes you don't feel like editing graphics sometimes. But really that's all there is to do with that. You can actually play the game all the way through, so all 10 levels. I do actually have to add an end of game screen, that won't take very long, and there will be some little bugs from testing. So after a very long period of time, that one is also very close. As is Berserk, I mentioned that last month. I pretty much haven't made any changes to that this month, other than I had another go at redoing the samples and they ended up exactly the same. So we are limited to the hardware, but the gameplay is going really well, and they're getting the beta testers to concentrate on the gameplay and find any of those last little bugs, so we can make sure it's solid before it goes out. And then when I get those out of the way, then I can start on some brand new games, and I've hinted at those with some of the screen mock-ups I've shown previously. And yes, I'll definitely be moving on to more of those. So that's all for my update for this month. So I hope everybody out there is staying well and safe and enjoying their retro and of course modern games. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.